Hickok 45, you're looking at some firearms that might be cleaned or they might be dirty. I don't know. Actually, I do know. This 45 ACP right here has been fired a couple of times in the last 2 or 3 days. But guess what? That means it's dirty. I'm gonna shoot it anyway. Here goes. Let's see if it works. See if it's accurate enough to hit that bullseye. Wow, not bad. For a dirty gun, I could probably pop that cowboy. Yeah, with a dirty firearm. Maybe even a 2-liter. Yeah, nice. So, when is a firearm too dirty? When should you clean it? How often should you clean it? Do we over clean? Do we not clean enough? Let's talk briefly about that, okay? This is not a cleaning video in terms of showing you how to clean a firearm. We've done a lot of those, at least how I clean them. But I want to talk briefly about, in general, especially, cleaning firearms and when to clean it. When is it clean enough, so to speak, right? All right, I'm going to provide some insight, some brilliance. How's that? And I want to thank the people that help us before I do that, before I provide brilliance. Gallery of Guns, Davidson's Gallery of Guns, man, they have a guaranteed lifetime replacement on firearms you buy from them. Check them out, great company, great people. And then Silencer Central, they do one thing really well, and you've seen the Banish lineup here that they make. Check them out. Also, the Sonoran Desert Institute, sdi.edu. Learn how to work on firearms, learn about drone technology, all sorts of things. How to put the proper color tape on your hand. You can learn all sorts of things through a distance. Check them out. Yeah, we're going to talk about cleaning, and this is a 1911, made in 1918. All right, it was dirty before I fired it. It probably has some blood on it because I get hammer bite with them. That's why I put this piece of painter's tape on my hand right here. I've been shooting it and it was a little sore. So, do we over clean our guns? Do we not clean them enough? Probably it depends on who you talk to, right? You might know somebody that brags. I've seen it online and in life, in person. People brag about how they just don't clean their AR-15 or their Glock. Gone 67,000 rounds without being cleaned, or I haven't cleaned it in 5 years, or I'm running a test maybe to see how long it'll run without cleaning. So, and you know, their firearm is cranking right along, at least according to them, right? And often that is the case. Some firearms, many of you know, they will just keep on trucking, right, without cleaning. That one you're looking at right now is famous for that, right? The old AK. I don't know when one of those would get so dirty that you just couldn't fire it. Maybe in your lifetime. That's exaggerated a little bit, right? But you know, guns do vary. They do vary. So I want to make a few points. One thing is it depends on your purpose, doesn't it? What this firearm is for. If it's a firearm that you just, like this one, let's say, this is kind of a collectible, old 1911, made 1918. I'm probably not going to depend on this one to save my life at any point. Maybe, you never know. But I'm not going to carry it as a self-defense pistol. It's probably not going to be a home defense pistol for me. So this one falls into that category of shooters, collectibles, range guns, that sort of thing, where if it malfunctions because I didn't clean it properly or often enough, my life is not in jeopardy. Unless I let it get so dirty it blows up on me or something. Can that happen? But you know what I'm saying. So not as critical. Now for the value of the gun, it is, but not in terms maybe of safety and that sort of thing, saving my life. If it's a competition gun, you know, another parameter. It's pretty important to keep it clean, right, before a match. I never went to a match without cleaning my firearm. There's enough things that could go wrong. An ammo issue, a brain issue, whatever. I want my firearm clean and ready to go, well lubed, you know. And even when you just go to the range to shoot, you know, with your friends or whatever, you want your firearms to operate. It's annoying when they don't, even if it's not dangerous, right? So it kind of depends on the purpose of the firearm. Also, it depends on what kind it is. Like I say, 1911 will crank pretty well if it's dirty. An AK we know will. Now black powder, a lot of black powder is very corrosive, right? So a little more important to clean it, before too long. You wouldn't want to just go out and shoot that with normal black powder, like I do, and then set it aside and clean it a month later, or just not clean it. You could run into problems, corrosion. You end up with a pitted barrel. And in the case of that, because that's an actual Civil War rifle, it would be an expensive piece of negligence. You let a gun rust that is a collectible firearm, right? The same with this one. So you got all those things to think about, what the purpose is. Now, if it's a carry gun, if it's a firearm you are depending on for your life, maybe you're a cop, maybe you're a soldier, maybe you're like me, you're just a civilian with the right to carry. Well, same thing. I want my firearm lubed and clean, and not too overly lubed either, right? So cleaning, being clean enough means for me that firearm is clean. Murphy's always standing over there to your side. He's invisible, but he's just waiting to get you, right? That old gotcha moment. If something can go wrong, it will, Murphy. So if the firearm is clean, it's lubed properly, it seems functional, you've tested it, you shoot it, and it's your carry gun or it's your home defense firearm or whatever, then it's clean enough, based on our topic today, right? It's clean enough. That's the most you can do. You've got it clean, you've got it lubed. So for me, that's when a defensive firearm is clean enough, when it's really clean, okay, and well lubed, of course, because you're depending on it. So it depends on the parameters. I've got some props out here, some things I use to clean. I still kind of old school when it's a handgun. I use patches and a rod. I've got basically two that I use for 38s and 45, 44, and that kind of thing. Screwdrivers, but I use snakes on shotguns and rifles for the most part, like this. Some variation of a snake. There are lots of different brands now. And so it is important to clean them. I would not recommend bragging or just not cleaning your gun so you can brag about it. I just don't get that. I really don't. And I'll tell you another thing that's for some people is different. With me, for example, I have so many firearms, I really need to keep them clean, or I might forget which ones are clean and which ones are not, right? Put one away in the safe and I'll clean that later. Well, in the hubbub and doing videos, of course, and maybe you too, you're going to the range and taking this gun in, that one out. You forget which ones you have cleaned and lubed, and if you're not careful, you end up with some rust on something, right? In the barrel or whatever. So lots of things to think about, but by and large... Hey, I'm back. Guess what happened? The battery died. It happens. But as I was about to say, before I was so rudely interrupted by technology, by and large, I clean them. I clean my guns. Too much to keep up with. I don't want to, did I clean my Beretta 92? I think I had that out a 3 weeks ago. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So I need, for consistency's sake, just to clean them. Make sure they're lubed and cleaned, generally before I put them away, right? Or put them in a special place, clean them, then put them where they go. It's just important to me. And you may have a similar situation where you have several firearms, and you're dragging this one in, that one out, and this one in, shooting them different times. So anyway, it's up to you, of course. They're your firearms. It's your loss or gain, not mine, if you clean them or don't. But I do recommend try to keep them cleaned and lubed, and it makes the world a better place. Now, there is an element I was going to mention, since we have a new battery. Sometimes people have in their heads that firearm needs to be absolutely immaculate. Like you put the white gloves to it, inside and out, before you're satisfied with it. You might be one of those people. I am not one of those people. I am pretty obsessive about cleaning my firearms after I shoot them and lubing them and everything, getting them clean. But I'm most concerned, well, getting them clean, but also lubed and preventing rust, preserving them. You know, and you know, I've never had a problem with that. You know, I've been using the same thing, Ballistol, as you all know, for since '99, I guess. But I don't necessarily lose a night's sleep if I say I clean this firearm tonight and I put it away and I get it out in a week and I say, oh, how's this gun look? Is it clean enough? And lo and behold, I look at that muzzle and guess what I spot? A speck of lint. Oh no, I'm gonna jump off a bridge. I am not that guy, okay? Hopefully you're not either. Okay, if you have that barrel cleaned and lubed and there's a speck of lint or something, and the reason I mention that, I remember an episode of The Waltons years ago where one of the boys had a shotgun. He was cleaning it and he brought it to Grandpa to see if it was clean enough or something. Or Grandpa looked at it. He looked up those barrels and, you got a piece of lint up in there, boy, something like that. You better get in there and get that out, you know. And now he may have just been trying to overdo the lesson. I don't, you know, it's a TV show, of course. But there is a point where that's not necessarily important, is it? Because this gun, like I said, as I opened, this gun had been fired yesterday or the day before, and I knew it was going to fire today, and I've already fired it before you came to this video, in fact, and then fired it in this video, and then I'm going to clean it. So I made the crack how I'd been fired a couple of different times, and it might not work, I think, didn't I? Well, that was kind of just being sarcastic, and to make the point that it's still going to work. It's still fine. I fired the other day a couple of magazines. Before this video, fired a couple of mags, 3 at the most, okay? It's okay. I didn't clean it before this video. And that's kind of the point. If it was really essential for me to clean it before this video to feel confident about it, then it's a very unreliable pistol, right? If it's been fired 30 times, and then I've got to clean it carefully every 30 shots. So that's kind of the point I'm making there. So you can overdo it, but mainly you want to keep them preserved and clean, and know they're clean, and keep up with that. You don't want rust to develop, do you? So that's the truth. And now this firearm actually would fit into a holster made by someone who is a big supporter of the channel. Alabama holster. I think they make one for well, I know they do, for 1911s. I have one. So we appreciate their support. Great little Kydex concealment holsters. And I'm going to shoot it one more time, and you're going to have to leave. Which mag shall I use? I hate to use a new mag with this old antique gun, but let's shoot it one more time. And again, the tape is just to protect me from slide bite. All right? Yeah, it was a little dirty, but it worked fine. But the moral of the story is be sensible, keep your firearms clean, and make sure they're clean enough. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com, and also while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.